Hi everyone, I'm just going to show you how to do using a Julie Hickey stamp and using the background stamp that I showed on the beginner's stamping. I'm going to show you how to do edges of embossing so that it doesn't look plain, that you've got a nice edge on it. First of all, I want to show you that when I stick my stamps on, because I use the Pritt stick, I get quite a mucky block, so I just use one of these well, that's a bit of a rough one, but anyway, it still works. A razor blade, like to clean the windows, and I just scrape off. You can wash it off, but I'm a bit impatient and I just tend to do that to make it stick better. And this one's sticking nicely because it's not been used very much recently. It's quite new. Must remember to wipe my paper so that any fingerprints are gone. And I'm going to use the Wow ink. Now you've got two ways of doing this, because I can see it. I can dab like that, or you can go over like that. If it's bigger, I usually do it that way. And then I'm going to place my stamp down, holding firm, press with one hand, not letting go with the other. And then add in my embossing powder. I'm just going to tip it up. It doesn't matter how much you tip up, because what's not used will come off. And if you've got any tiny bits, which I haven't on that one today, but if you've got any tiny bits, you can get off with a brush at this point, and I am going to be cutting out. Always try and keep your lid on your embossing pads as they'll dry out. Always heat evenly and slowly. Don't do this. So you just disperse the heat. So you just literally guide it over, and you can go underneath as well, and that keeps the card flat. It does heat better from underneath, but for some reason, habit, I do both. I like to see it go. And you see it just taking there. If there's any embossing powder left unheated, then it will just come off, because it will still be in powder form. It needs to be melted so that it doesn't come off. Just change it in the light, move it around, and you can see any dark bits haven't been done, you just go over. You can overheat, so if you do it too long, it goes flat because it over melts them. Nice little bit, and I think that's enough for me. It's done. Now I've cut them ready. I've tried to get that as straight as I can. You can cut round and go right close to that, but I wanted a border because I want to show you how to emboss the border. And I've cut that one out as well, and that's going to be my background. My plan is to stick that one there and that one there. I do like working on craft card because it shows up the embossing. And I'm just going to show you putting the embossing around the edge. Now I've put all my embossing powder, the big tub, I've put it in here. I wiped around first with my anti-static bag so that I can dip my card in. So next stage. Now if you're careful, you can do this all the way around, or you can do it one side at a time. I tend to do it all the way around first. So if you just want a tiny bit on the edge, just stand it down like that and put it in, and you get a nice fine edge. If you want it slightly further over so it shows more, then just lean your card further over. And give it a tap, and you can see the powder has taken on the edge. I'm going to move that out the way, otherwise I might blow it with the heat gun. Right, as you can see, it's got a nice edge on it. You can see that shows up. You could, if you wanted, just mount it on gold card, but I actually love the effect that gives. So I can colour that in, and it's ready to go on my card. So I'm going to do the same with this one, only I'm going to lean it over a little bit so you can see a different effect. As you can see from there, it's slightly thicker in areas. If you want it thicker than that, you can hold this and do downwards. If I wanted more of a messy look, like an aged look, I would do it that way. Now, if you've got any areas that you've missed, that's not too bad, but I've got a little bit on the corner there, so you can just do that, dab it back into the powder, and then heat it again. Right, I've stuck this one down. I've used the foam tape, and I've put 3 strips down there to make it raised, and I'm going to do the same with this one. And I've coloured it in, and I'm going to choose where I want it. I might put a message up there. Sometimes you can make it more personal by putting a message or a number for a birthday or whatever. So I'm going to leave a gap in case I plan to do that. I'm going to place that down and then bring that off. Oh, that tape didn't come off. That's that. All good plans. And I think you'll agree that's quite an elegant, simple card, quite effective. I'm going to put a gem there and make it more personalised, maybe with a stamp up there. I'm going to do exactly the same with the words. I'm just going to very lightly dab on there. The nice thing about Julie Hickey stamps is they're very fine and they come out really well. So just press down and up, and then you should have your perfect words. And then I'll put that in the powder. And as you can see, you can read that nicely. Actually, there's a tiny weeny bit that I don't want there. Now I can heat that. Now I've noticed it's wobbly, so I've put it on my stamp. Look at that. So there's a good sign. I'm going to show you how to get it straight. Now I'm glad I made that mistake, because I can show you how to get a straight stamp. If I place that on a grid or on a line and then place it on, I can see it straight. Because what I did was just put it on and I obviously wobbled it. So just get a straight line. You're putting it so it's face down. Make sure it's straight, and then you can put it on your stamp. I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to cut it out anyway. So as you can see, I've done the same principle with this. I've done the words, cut it out, and then I've put the gold round and stuck it on with the tape, but I cut it so it was smaller. So it's quite a finished card. I could add more. I could 3D that flower. I could add more gems, all sorts, but I just wanted this one simple so you could learn how to do this embossing around the edge. You can go around the edge of your card, but I would have preferred to do that before sticking on. But I don't think it needs it because it looks nice colour as it is. That's it for today. A short lesson. Hope you enjoy. Would love to see some of your work. If any of you want to share with me, I'd really love to see it. There's the finished card, and I shall send that off in the post for someone today. And don't forget my zoo. Any donations gratefully received from my animals. You can do PayPal or message me and I'll give you details. PayPal is annie.winch@icloud.com. Lovely to see you. Although I don't see you, you see me. Bye for now.